Hi, hello. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and you're welcome to another session. Ask HR session today. Yay! Hello. Hi, Adidolapo. Hi, Chidera. Hi, Mona. Hi, Uchman. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Today really is for you, right? And we're talking about interviewing, the interviewer. So please send this, live session to your friends. Please let me know where you are joining us from. So if you're in Lagos, write Lagos. If you're in Abuja, write Abuja. Wherever you are, please just let us know where you are joining from. I hope you guys can hear me. Hi, Mona. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you can hear me as well. And today promises to be exciting because, we have someone special in the house today. Yay, Israel is chatting from, he joined us from Abuja. How is Abuja today? Chidera is in Abuja too. Ilorin, how is Ilorin today, T? Someone says, why always Lagos and Abuja? Where are you? Ibadan, yay! How is Ibadan today? How is the weather in Ibadan today? Imo State, wow, that's nice. Say Abuja is calm. Nice. So please share this live session with your friends. Let them join. We're talking about interviewing the interviewer. So basically, it is top questions to ask any recruiter, right? And today I have someone special in the house. His name is DJ Onoboli, and he's going to be joining us shortly. So please still let me know, where you are calling today. Yay. And DJ is about to join the call. Hi, Dami. Hi, Ani Baba Ayo DG. Hello. I see you, and I say thank you for joining us today on Ask HR. Hi, Deji. How are you today?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Awesome. Yeah, guys. Deji is, come on. He's our very own HR consultant. Woohoo. So, you
Nice to be
guys,
here.
yeah. We're excited. Thank you so much for joining. Hi, John. And once it is 1:05, we'll actually start. I'm just giving time, for us to say hi, let us know where you're chatting from, how the weather is where you are, and how you actually are today. So then we will start. Nice to have you. DJ, how are you today? How are you this afternoon?
I'm fine, I'm fine,
How
thank
is
you.
Lagos?
Lagos is fine, typical
Lagos
Lagos
is
traffic.
chill. All
But
right,
I
all
think,
right. So we'll start shortly. Like we always do, we've given out the opportunities for job seekers to send in their questions, and we have some questions here. Once we are done attending to these questions, then you that you're watching here can always ask your questions, and we will attend to your questions. Hi, Emmanuel. Hi, Shegon. I see all of you, and I say thank you so much for joining us. Right. So, Deji, while we wait, for more people to join, interviewing the interviewer, what do you think about it? Have you ever even tried to be like at the other side of the table? Now, it's not you that is, you are the one being interviewed. Have you tried it before?
yeah, I try to, from time to time, I try to take interviews, even when I'm not actively searching for a job, just to get like a sense of what it feels like to be in the process of trying to get into an organization. So it just gives me that vibe of, okay, this is what an interview feels like, just so that I'm not far off from an interview for so long. So it feels good to be here, like an interview.
Awesome. That's nice. That's nice. So
Yeah,
it just really what you're saying now is like it just keeps you abreast. Oh, what am I doing? Right? And if you're still
exactly.
like doing it right, can you say
Yeah,
some
exactly.
sort of does it help your self-awareness?
Definitely, it does help your self awareness. So sometimes you just feel like there are times whereby you've not been in an interview for so long, but just so that you understand what's going on in the market and how your value is perceived in the market. It's just good to have interviews from time to time, even when you're not actively searching for opportunities.
For opportunities. Oh, nice. So you have heard it So once, even if you're like, you have a job and you're not looking to move, just to help you become self-aware, to an extent, you can also try, the whole recruitment process. Go ahead and apply and just see, so you can get feedback. Or you need to improve on this skill, you need to have this, and you need to have that, pretty much. All right, so it is 1:05, and yeah, we are starting. Don't forget to share this live session with your friends. There's this arrow button that is just down there. Once you click on it, you can share with your friends that are looking for a job. People that that they've attended more than 10 interviews this year, that they've not gotten a job. Please, by all means, share with them. No knowledge is a waste. And come on, Doberman Nigeria is so nice. We're here for you. All right, so we're going to start. Now,
Yeah.
somebody's asking, what questions can I ask a recruiter to find out more about a company during an interview?
Interesting question.
You get.
You want to find out you want to find out more about the company during an interview.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I think you need to ask questions revolving around like the company culture,
Okay.
because that's the only way you can get a good understanding of of what the company is all about. So you want to ensure that you are a good fit for the company, and also to ensure that the company is a good fit for you. So you need to, while asking those questions, you need to pay attention to how the interviewer or recruiter describe the company.
Okay.
So, for example, if I'm going to be asking such questions and I want to find out about the company, I could ask questions like, is it a button-down culture where employees are expected to work late? So, depending on the response from the interviewer, it gives me a sense of, okay, they usually work late in this company. They expect you to dress formally, and you just get to understand what it feels like to be in the company. You should also ask if there is like a particular dress code requirements. You could ask questions around if they have like employee get-togethers, or if they have like hangouts, team bonding sessions. It gives you
Okay.
a good understanding of the vibe of the company. Do they have a remote workplace policy? I know most organizations feel like they have. So when doing interviews and you ask them, "Are you remote friendly?" They say yes, but typically they don't have remote workplace policy. So it's just like it's bobo to some extent here. But if they have policies in place that speak to being remote friendly, it makes a whole lot of sense. Another very good way to find out about the company is to so typically when you have your interviews, you have gone through your competency questions, you're towards the end of the interview, then you can ask the interviewer, how would you describe your experience working with this organization, and what are the things that make you excited about working in this organization? So
Oh.
with that kind of question, it's going to tell you about its positives working within the organization, and also talk about like the experiences that are not so good. So with all of these details, you get a good understanding of if you would like to work in this organization or if it's somewhere you're not really interested in.
So
So basically, your questions should revolve around the company culture.
So he's saying now that he's telling us that whatever questions you want to ask, right? You want to find out more about the company, you've done your research, but beyond, what you can see, beyond the theoretical aspects, like what you can see on their website, ask things around company culture. Even the person interviewing you, you can ask the person, how long have you been working here? And why have you decided to stay this long? That's a very good
Yeah.
question that you can ask. When I was being interviewed for this role, and then they asked me, "Do you have any question for us?" I said, "Yes." It was so funny. It just popped, and I asked, and the guy laughed. It was like, "Wow!" But then he was able to answer me, and I felt like, oh, it made sense. And Jobberman, I wanted to work with Jobberman. So pretty much, don't forget, don't go like without asking questions. Ask questions. That way, it shows that you are really interested in working with the organization. Not like when they ask you, "Oh, do you have any question for me?" and you're like, none for now. Please feel free, ask different questions. I think another good question that you can ask is, depending on the role or the position, you can ask what are the levels of people in that department, right? So for example, if you want to join the HR department, you can simply ask, what are the levels of people in that department? That will give you an idea of the team that you are trying to join, right, DJ?
Yeah, right. You need to have a good understanding of like the hierarchy,
Yeah.
how long it takes to grow on certain positions. You could ask questions relating to that. How long, so for example, if the person is at the topmost level, at executive management level, you could ask questions relating to how long from the point he started his career, how long it took him to get to that position. It just gives you a good sense of growth within the organization also.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that, DJ. Now we'll move to the second question. What is the best way to answer? What is your salary expectation?
Hmm. Salary expectation. That's
Yeah.
a very tricky question. Yeah, but I feel like in terms of salary expectation, for you to ask about salary expectation, you must have conducted research to understand what the pay is like for such roles within the industry. So, for example, I'm looking to go into a big four at a certain level. I should have conducted research to understand what they pay for similar roles in other organizations, and this gives me like a good sense of um, what's the salary expectation to be. But if I'm to answer this question as a person, I would say I would say something like considering my considering my knowledge of what the role involves, my work experience, and maybe expectations and the pay for similar roles within the industry, I'm looking to earn something within the range of. It's always good to give a range so that there are situations whereby the company has a benchmark as to how much they want to pay for a particular position. So
Yeah.
if you give like a range, so for example, the company wants to pay um, 200K for that particular role, and you give a range to say you're looking to earn something within the range of 200 to 250. It just allows it gives room for flexibility. Let me put it that way. So they are open to negotiating with you to say, okay, we cannot meet your current expectations, but this is what we are willing to offer. So
Hmm.
for me, that's the best way to ask about salary expectations.
Because I've had to interview a couple of people, and when I ask, oh, let's talk money, right? They're like, no, I don't have anything, and I'm like, you should have something. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
you should know your worth, right? It's one thing to say, oh, even with the fact that the company has like a budget, if I still come and I'm like, oh, I know, like I'm certain, because me, I always ask how much. If you want to say you're giving me a range, you now give me a range of 200 to 250, like you said, and I ask you, can you be certain? How much do you want? And you say, oh, 250. If maybe, just maybe, the role doesn't offer 250, I can still ask you questions like, are you open to negotiations? If you say yes,
yeah,
it gives me an idea that, oh, you can still go a bit lower, right? And I feel
yeah,
like you can still negotiate your salary. Like, by all means, shoot your shot. If
yeah,
maybe that 250 is still small, they're giving you the offer, you can still try and negotiate. You might still get more, right?
yeah, yeah. So you're always open to negotiation. It's always a good thing to negotiate.
Yeah, yeah. But like Deji said, don't forget to do your research. Industries vary, right? You can't say you're coming from the tech industry into like maybe the educational industry, and you're thinking that you as a product manager, you're maybe with 2 years, maybe 300, 350, per month, and then you're coming to the educational sector and you still want that amount. It is not the same. So you have to do your research, whatever industry you're going into, to find out how much, like what's the average price of a product manager in maybe a recruitment industry, right? That will
Yeah,
also help you when you want to, like, talk about your salary expectation. And another thing is for you to talk about your salary expectation in net. Don't talk about it in gross. Reason being that you don't know the deductions that the company has, and at the end of the day, your take home is what is important to you, really, not your gross. So when you speak, about money in net, it helps you. You tell them, oh, I want 450 net, right? 400 to 450 net. That gives them an idea. Whatever deductions they're doing, that's, is really their headache to, deal with. But with you, I just know that my take home at the end of the month should be 450K.
Yeah.
Now, a follow up question to this. Okay, sorry, you
Okay.
want to say something?
So before you go on with the follow-up question, just to add to what you said regarding focusing on your or getting a good sense of what your net pay should be like, you should also ask questions revolving around benefits. Some organizations give allowances to people. Some other organizations do not give allowances. So you need to understand all of these things. So, for example, where you're coming from, you might have been getting housing allowances or um, leave allowance, while the organization you're going to just pays everything as a whole. So you're not
Yeah.
getting any allowances. So you need to clarify all of these things.
All right. Great. So don't forget also talk about that. Make sure there's a clarification when you're talking about, when you're talking money. Now the follow-up question is, what if we can't pay you up to that amount? Should we forget it as a deal? Like if the person say, we cannot pay you. Are you willing to negotiate? What do you think the person should say? Oh, I'm open to negotiation, or no, I'm fixed on this price.
No, so if they can't pay you up to that amount, I think it's always a good thing to so depending on what you want. So for some roles, you feel like I can't go below this certain level or below this certain benchmark. Maybe probably because of what you were earning or what you're currently earning. But for some other roles, they are still offering you something significantly at what you currently earn. So you should mention that you're open to discussing the numbers with them. It just creates room for flexibility. It shows them that okay, this person is flexible and this person is willing to have negotiations with us. And sometimes there are situations where you find yourself and you really don't have an idea of what the pay is within certain role. You can do like a markup of your current salary to say, okay, 20% of what I currently earn is the minimum I will go by. So it's always good to be flexible, but at the same time, if you have like a benchmark as to what you want or what your expectation would be, you can let them know that okay, this is what I'm looking to earn for this particular role. Yeah.
All right, cool. So now let's go to the next question. How can I reach out to a recruiter after an interview, especially when I did not get a response?
After an interview
Yeah.
and you do not get a response, so I think the best way to reach out to a recruiter after an interview would be through email communication. You need to um, you need to send them an email. So your email should be very formal because you're trying to get updates on your recruitment process, and you need to express. You also need to like express your appreciation and reinforce your interest in the position. So in expressing your appreciation, you're saying thank you for the opportunity to go through your interview process, and you're also giving details of when the interview happened, the job title, the date you got interviewed, and you're asking for what's it called for follow up on next question. So you're asking for what are the next steps in the recruitment process. So the best way for me to reach out to people, obviously there must have been a mail communication as to the interview process, inviting you for the interviews. So you need to respond to maybe the recruiter or whoever invited you to ask for okay, what are the updates on my recruitment process and all. So the best way to do that is to have a formal communication. You don't want to go about stalking people and just send them a formal email and they'll most likely respond to you.
Okay, so still, can we put like a time frame? When should I wait 1 week, like 5 working days after my interview, or 10 working days? How long should I wait for that to happen?
Okay, so the time in terms of time frame, the time frame is subjective. And the reason why I would say that is some different organizations have different recruitment processes. So for some roles, it may take 2 to 3 days to get back to you. Other roles, it may take about a week or 2 weeks to get back to you. So it's always best to, most times you could clarify during the initial interview to
Interview.
ask when will they get back to you, or when is the most likely date they'll get back to you. But in case you do not do that during your interview, you could just ask that, okay, you could send an email maybe a week after you've gone through the interview process.
To them.
But it's always
All right.
best to clarify. Yeah,
So you advise people, that's job seekers or even professionals, to clarify, please, when should I
yeah,
expect, your feedback, right?
yeah.
All right, that's cool. Now, somebody is also asking, how can I get the recruiter to open up about salary during an interview?
So you want the recruiter to tell you about salary,
How much they are
about
willing
salary
to
during an
pay?
interview.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's a very, you need to be very diplomatic to do that, because most recruiters will not just jump into salary. But for me, if I want to get a recruiter to open up about salary and during an interview, what I would typically do is, it won't be the first thing. I can't start an interview and start talking about salary. So
How
you
much are
try
you
as much
likely
as
to pay
possible.
me?
Yeah. So you try as much as possible to have you must have demonstrated your competence and, okay, I can do this. They are seeing value in you. They've asked you certain questions. You've demonstrated how you could bring value to the organization. If you've done most of these things, then you can now start having conversations about salary. And even when you want to start conversation about salary, there's a particular tone, or there's a way you construct your sentences to say, okay, when you start asking about salary, you need to be careful about the wording. So instead of, if it if I'm the one, for example, instead of me to say things like salary expectation, I'll use the word compensation. So I can say something like, well, I'm really excited about the opportunity to work with the organization, and if we decide to work together, I'm sure we'll find the compensation that matches the value I bring to the organization. So I've indirectly asked him about what the salary for this role is, and with that, he may open up and start saying, well, this is what we are willing to offer for this position, or what are your expectations in terms of pay. We've directed the questions towards compensation. But I would not start an interview and the first thing I'll talk about is, yes, how much do you people want to pay before we start discussing anything. Yeah, so I feel like you must have demonstrated your competencies and the value you'll be bringing to the organization before you start talking about compensation, salaries, and benefits and the like.
Okay, so what about situations where they are trying to poach somebody? How do you also get this person, that's maybe the recruiter or the hiring manager, to tell you about the salary?
Can you say that again? You're trying to poach someone.
Yeah, when you're trying to poach someone, I'm not the one looking for a job, I'm on my own. You are coming to meet me now that, oh, I've gone through your LinkedIn profile and I feel like, you can apply for this job. How do I now get you to tell me how much, you're willing to pay?
Hmm, that's a tough one. Yeah, so I want to put someone, for example, I've gone to the person's LinkedIn profile, I reached out to the person to say, okay, we have this position available. Um, um, these are the benefits of working with this organization and all of those things. To get the person to open up to you about um, what is salary expectation to be.
Yeah. No, what
So
the
you could
oh,
ask,
that's the budget of the salary now. The recruiter, I want me, the job seeker. You've come to meet me. I want the recruiter
yeah,
to tell me how much the salary is. How do I go about that?
okay, so you want me to tell you how much salary it is.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically you could start talking about your the things you are currently doing. Obviously, for the person to want to coach you, the person must have seen a great deal of value in what you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when the person reaches out to you, you're most likely be telling him about the things you've done, uh, the projects you've um, the projects you've worked on, and what your what your value brings to the organization. So that way, the person can now start talking about, okay, I understand that you're highly experienced in these areas, but uh, we are willing to offer you certain amount. So most times, it all boils down to the recruiter seeing value in what you do. If the recruiter sees value in what you do, you can initiate a conversation to talk about how much they are willing to pay.
Hmm. Now, speaking of value, you said if the recruiter sees value in you, how can I, as a job seeker, ensure that the recruiter sees value in me? How do you determine that, oh, this person is even
Yes,
valued, that there's value? I'm sorry, I think we lost him. His network is, I think we lost him for a bit. So he will join us shortly. Thank you, sir. All right, Deji's back. Deji's back. So if you're just joining, briefly before I continue, if you're just joining, we are talking about interviewing the interviewer, right? And did you just mention something about if the recruiter sees value in you, right? Now, my question to him is, I think he's having network issues, but he'll be back. Don't forget to share this live. We're going to save it, on our TL, and then you can always, rewatch it and share with your friends, maybe after school, after work, anytime. Just give us a few minutes. DG will join us shortly. So pretty much, like he was saying, if they're trying to poach you, they will inform you, some people will even ask you for your salary expectation. They just want to use it to, gauge how much they just want to use it to gauge like your the range or how much you're expecting and what the budget is actually. And to be honest, some recruiters, to avoid the whole long process, of back and forth, they can just tell you clearly that, oh, this is my client.
hello.
Yes. Hi, welcome back. So they can just tell
Hi,
you,
it's a network
yeah, I figured.
issue.
It's fine. No problem. So they can just tell you point blank that, oh, this is, my client's budget is, maybe 350K, and we want to see, is that fine with you? Would you like, and yeah, if you're interested in it, by all means, you already know the budget. But some people also want to shoot their shots. You already know the client's budget, but then when you get there, the client should ask you questions. You now say, oh, I want maybe 500 or 450. By all means, if it works out, it's good. So what I was saying, Deji, was how do you now determine, how does a recruiter know that this person has value?
Okay, the recruiter knows you have value from the point, even before they reached out to you, they've gone through, they probably have your CV, they probably have knowledge of some of the things you've done, they've heard about you, that's why they're reaching out to you. And they've seen value in what you do in terms of what's written on your CV. So they just want to reconfirm those things they saw. So most times, even before someone reaches out, because most recruiters they don't want to waste their time going through interviews for several people who would not end up bringing value to the
Yeah.
organization. So for them to have called you, they've seen the value and they just want to confirm how good you are and who best fits the role. So it's just for you to re-engage them and confirm those details on your CV. Sometimes people have fantastic CVs with different things. I've done this, I've
Yeah,
done this,
true.
I've worked on this project, but they really cannot speak to those things.
Yes.
Maybe they paid someone to help them draft their CV, and the person put some details that they are not even they have no knowledge of. So basically, they are just trying to reconfirm what you've done and see your confidence level as to how you've been able to carry out some of those projects or some of those work tasks that you said you claim to have done on your CV.
All right, cool. So I've heard that you say CV like 3, 4 times now in that, answering that question. And I'm here to tell you something, right? People always ask, is it right to pay is it right to pay a professional to write my CV? Yes, I will answer you. Yes, it is. You can go ahead and pay someone. Like they just said, value. Once a recruiter sees your CV, I will know if you can, perform on this role, if you can do this job to my satisfaction, to the recruiter satisfaction. If you can even do the job, let's not even use big English. They will know. And if your CV is poorly written, you won't be considered for the job. You won't even be invited for an interview. Now, why am I speaking of this English? Jobberman, we have a service of CV service, whereby you pay us and then we'll help you write your CV, right? All you have to do is send us an email at cvs@jobberman.com. Literally, that's all you have to do. And somebody will get in touch with you. Now, don't play with it, because really, I see your CV, I'm interested in you, I invite you for an interview, you kill the interview, and guess what? You have your dream job. Now, speaking of interview, Deji, do we not say that interviews some sort of look test your soft skills? Because I can see that on paper you can deliver, but now I want to speak with you. What will I be looking out for during an interview?
Yes, that's a great question. Interviews most definitely test your soft skills. They've seen your competencies as to what you can do on the job. So as much as they are trying to reconfirm your technical competencies to see that okay you can do this thing, they are also checking for your soft skills. They are looking at things like your communication, sometimes the level of your emotional intelligence could play out during interviews. They're asking you questions. So typically for experienced roles, people will be asking you star related questions. And when I say star related questions, I mean questions that revolve around situation, tasks, actions, and results. So they will ask you questions that play out to okay, if you find yourself in this particular situation, what will you do? Or they paint out a scenario relating to maybe one of the work tasks or engagements you'll be involved in. And they want to just get a sense of how you communicate, how you handle the situation, what are the things you do. So in all those little things, they are checking out for your soft skills. So soft skills is very critical as much as you are building on your technical skills. You also need to have very good knowledge of soft skills, and you need to be able to demonstrate that. Most times, people who get to the top of organizations or the highest level within organizations have fantastic soft skills. Not to say that they don't have good technical skills, but if you have an average technical skill and you're very good up there with soft skills, the probability of you rising is very fast. But if you are very good technically and your soft skills are horrible, it's all just wrong. So as much as we are building on the technical skills, soft skills are also very important, and it will take you a very long way.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you helped us, you say if you're like a senior manager. Now, let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. If you are maybe like a graduate, you're a fresh graduate, what type of soft skills are recruiters looking out for?
As if
I lost you again. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
can you hear
Yes, I
me?
can hear you now. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
so
loud and clear.
I said we should.
Yeah, so we,
Did you hear the
we
question?
spoke about civil. I got the question. The question was, as a fresh graduate, what are recruiters looking out for? Yes,
Yes.
so we spoke about what's it called? About CV writing. They want to see that you can, although that's prior to the interview, they want to see that you can draft your thoughts well and your CV is well presented. That's what will make them call you. But like during the interview, they want to and they want to see that you have good communication skills. Communication is very critical. You should be able to uh, express your thoughts in clear terms and for people to understand. They want to see you have good emotional intelligence. They want to see you have interpersonal skills. You can relate with people because obviously most jobs you won't be working in isolation. Even though we have people working remotely these days, people still need to interact with others. And the better you can interact with people, the better you can get work tasks completed in good time. So they are looking for all of these little details. Can you pay attention to details? Do you demonstrate all these competencies to be able to, can you relate with people? What's your communication style? Are you, the tone of your language? So for example, some people send
Yeah.
emails and the way they send the emails, it just sounds offensive, like they're fighting with you. Meanwhile, they didn't plan it to be that way, but it's just the way they communicate. So basically, they need to go through like business writing skills and to ensure that they write their messages and emails properly. So in general terms, most employers are looking for people who can demonstrate all of these soft skills, who can communicate properly, who have good relationship skills and all.
All right, awesome. Now, since DJ has broken it down, how relevant soft skills are, to, the whole recruitment process. Now, it's no longer news that Jobberman Nigeria here, we, offer free soft skills training. Free. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is go to www.jobberman.com/soft skills, register and take the soft skills. It's easy peasy. You're not paying cash. You're not even transferring. Nothing. No money involved. You get your certificate, and guess what? Even as a fresh graduate, when when you are being invited for an interview, you'll be able to learn the basic things, teamwork, agility. You learn all that, and you'll be able to show them that, oh, I can do the job. I'm the best candidate. Beyond you just writing it in your email, oh, I'm the best candidate for the job. You'll be able to prove to them, right, that you're the best candidate. I'm sorry, before we continue, today's topic is interviewing the interviewer. Basically, we're talking about top questions to ask any recruiter. Feel free to drop your questions here. This is 1:36. We still have time. Now, somebody's asking a question here. Did 1 minute? Anytime I try to apply for a course on Jobberman, it doesn't work. I was once referred to a Telegram group, but it doesn't work. Quick one. Is it a course or a job? I have to know the difference between the two. The difference between the two. If it's the soft skills, go to the soft skills, like that's www.jobberman.com/soft skills and register. Then you can take the course there. If it is a job, you go to jobberman.com, open your job seeker account, and then you can apply for jobs. Thank you so much. Idris, as I even helped us to put it here, it says STAR: situation, task, action, and result. Pretty much, don't forget that, and you'll be good to go. So now I have one question here again. What questions should I never, in caps, ask a recruiter during an interview?
There are plenty of
All
questions
right,
you should not
give
ask a
us today.
recruiter
We're
during
ready.
an interview. Yeah. So, where do I start from? Okay, so first off, let me start with the company. You get called by an organization to an interview for certain roles. They don't expect you to be asking questions relating to what they do at the organization. So that should have been part of your research. You should have done research as to, okay, what does this organization do? What does this institution do? I mean, that's why we have things online now. Pretty much every information you need, you can find online. So, for example, I get called by a financial institution. I could easily go online and go to their website, understand what their values are to see if, okay, if these values even align with my personal values, and if it's the kind of organization I'll be interested in working. You could see things about their mission, their vision, what they are trying to achieve, even down to the organization structure. Sometimes you see people at the executive level, you get a sense of what the organization feels like. There's so much information embedded in most of these organizations' websites, so you need to leverage on that. You can even go as far as looking at their financial statements, for example. If you want to understand maybe how the organization is performing, you can see details of their financial statements, maybe if they made a peak, what was their top line, what was the bottom line like, and you just get a good sense of organization. So basically, they wouldn't expect you to be asking um, questions relating to what do you guys do here. All of those things should have been done prior to the interview. Another thing you should avoid asking is asking personal questions with the interviewer. And you should try as much as possible to be friendly, but there are limits to it. You don't go um, over and beyond. So, for example, someone is interviewing you and they're saying, "Oh, you look so pretty. I'd like to take you
You
out for
smell
dinner."
nice.
I don't know that you smell nice, yeah. So that's like going extreme. You don't want to find yourself in such positions. Keep it professional. You should be friendly, wear a smile, but you don't want to start asking questions that are personal. What do you do during your leisure time? How many kids do you have? I mean, those things do not relate to the value you are bringing to the
Yeah.
organization. So you try as much as possible to keep it professional. What else comes to mind in terms of questions? Um, in terms of questions, another thing you should also not ask is, so you shouldn't be asking negative questions. For example, you're asking, how late can I come to work without getting fired? That just gives us a vibe that you're already willing to
Late,
come.
yeah.
You are the kind of person that wants to be coming to the organization late. So you shouldn't be asking negative questions, or you're asking things around um, how long would it take me to, just funny questions generally. Another critical question you should, it's not a bad question, but I just feel you should try as much as possible to ask open-ended questions. So you should try as much as possible to not ask yes or no questions. You want to ask questions that will enable the recruiter or the interviewer give you insights as to what is happening. So ask questions that would lead to explanations, basically. You don't want to ask yes or no questions. Do you have a job? Yes, no. Questions like that. I see a couple of questions here, and I'd just like to address them. Can I go on?
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
So someone is asking, what kind of questions can you ask the recruiter at the point he or she
Do you have
asks
any
if you
question for me?
have a question for? Yeah, this is a good one. So for example, there are a lot of questions you could ask at the point when the recruiter asks, do you have any question for us? And it just shows how interested you are in the role and how intelligent you are also. So you could ask questions like, of your top three, or what are the top three qualities of your top performers within the organization. So that just gives you a sense of the expectation from the interviewer. The interviewer expects you to have skills in top three areas. It gives you a sense of direction. Okay, I want you to have analytical skills. I want you to be able to use Microsoft Office tools. Um, it makes you understand what skills the person is looking out for. You could also ask questions relating to, so for example, if it's a project that the organization has been working on, you could ask questions as to how far they've gone with the project and what are the challenges they are facing. It already shows you are thinking of how you could bring value to such organizations. There's another question here that talks about, why do
What's for
recruiters
your
ask
previous
for
salary?
previous salary? Interesting question. So I'll just speak to that. Ideally, recruiters should not ask for your previous salary. In professional clients, they do not ask for your previous salary because they are,
It's confidential.
for every role within an organization. For every role within an organization, there is a benchmark or there is a particular range of pay um, for such roles. So, for example, you are coming in at this level, the organization already has a standard in terms of pay for that role. So, when recruiters ask about your current salary, they are just trying to benchmark what they will pay you, considering your current salary. They want to do like a 15% increase or a 10%, 20% increase on your current pay. But ideally, people should not be asking for what your current should come up at the point of when you enter the organization or when you've been given an offer, just to get a sense of where you're coming from. But it should not be used as a basis to determine what you get paid within the organization.
Sorry, DJ, before you go to the next question, I also think that why some of them will ask is to gauge, I want to do like a mental picture. If you tell me right now that you're on 350,000 naira net, and maybe, oh, I lost DJ, but yeah, you can hear me, and maybe the role is 400 net. I want to gauge if one, you'll be able to, if you're willing to make a move with a 50% in, I say 50, no, that's not 50%, with a 50K increment, really. So some of them ask, but ideally, like they just said, they shouldn't ask because it is confidential. Whatever, your salary is confidential between you and your organization. So nobody should really ask for it. But if they do, and you feel like there's no big deal, you can tell them, by all means, tell them. But it shouldn't be a reason why, um, they will not give you plenty money. Like there's already a budget for it. Why you like by all means appreciate them. I feel like it even gives people ginger. Like I'm earning more. So yeah, help them out. Now to the
Yeah,
next question.
exactly.
To the next question. How do you respond to salary expectations without shooting yourself in the foot?
Hmm. Salary expectations without shooting yourself
Yeah.
in the foot. So that's the best way to respond to salary expectations without shooting yourself in the foot. It all boils down to research.
Yeah.
Research. You need to do a lot of research as to find out what it is they pay similar roles. You could even go as far as reaching out to people on LinkedIn who have worked um, within such organizations. You need to build relationships so that you can engage people and ask them um, what it is, what the pay is like within such organizations, so that you don't shoot yourself in the foot, like you said. You don't want to go to an organization and you negotiate for something. Say you negotiate for 300K and you enter the organization, then you realize that people on your level are earning 350K or 400K. It brings about you end up becoming disgruntled, and you're not even wouldn't even be productive again.
Yeah.
So you need to try as much as possible to do research, leverage on networks, on relationships, on LinkedIn. Um, Try to find out what they pay for similar roles within the industry and organization. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yes, I think another thing is one thing you should also consider is some companies are not like willing to like intentionally wanting to pay you small salary. Consider your years of experience, consider your professional certification, consider the industry, your skill set. There are like 1,001 things really to consider as well. So don't just say because I am a product manager, I should earn this amount, right? You're a product manager with how many years of experience? Maybe like 6 months. So you too, you'll be um you be objective about it. Nobody's saying that don't aspire to earn if in dollars,
Yeah.
$1 million per month. It's fine. But also be objective that, oh, this is it, right? I am here. This is what I have. This is what I have. This is what I have. So this is what I want you to pay me, right? That also works. Now, Linda is asking how to answer the question, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? How
Uh, where do you see yourself in the next five
five to
to
ten
ten
years,
years?
yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to get to the next day.
I'm just
I'm
trying
not
to
even
get to
thinking
next
about
day.
5. Well, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? I had the boss who used to tell me when he was going to his interview, they asked him, where do you see yourself during the next 5 to 10 years? And he told the CEO that he sees himself in his seat in the next 10 to 5 years. So basically, for me, if I'm going to answer where do I see myself in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm just going to look at I'll look at the trajectory of the organization.
Yeah.
Ideally, if you get promoted every year, or depending on what works within the organization, this is where I'll see myself within the next 5 to 10 years. Aside from the organization, you should also have like personal goals or targets that you want to achieve. So, for example, you want to have gotten certain certifications, or you want to have gotten an MBA, you want to have gotten skills in certain areas. So, all of those things will help you reflect on where you feel you should, or what position you feel you should occupy within the next 5 to 10 years. It's just to guide you in answering the question.
Yeah. So what about job seekers? No, no, not job seekers. Now, fresh graduates that, to be honest, we're just testing waters. Most fresh graduates is the first job I get.
Yeah,
How do you advise them to answer this question?
yeah. So as a fresh graduate, I mean, you have little to no experience. Maybe your experience revolves around internships and some minor experiences. So you should just say, when I was a fresh graduate, I would say that if you ask me where do I see myself in the next 5 years, I'll basically say that at the moment I'm currently exploring. I'm trying to carve a niche for myself and see what position, because I really did not know what I wanted to do. I was looking at different things. So I will just say that I'm trying to understand what will fit me best. But within the next 5 to 10 years, I see myself occupying at least managerial positions or getting to managerial positions any within any industry I find myself in, and I see myself attaining certain certifications and skills that will help me get to this position.
Yeah, thank you.
On the personal note, also, I can see that I see myself getting involved in certain foundations or certain kind of personal things I want to do for myself. You could also bring that in also.
Yeah. Thanks, Deji. And the reason why I asked that question is because I want job like fresh graduate to understand that there's no pressure. Why? It is fine for you not to know exactly what you want to do, in the next 5 to 10, like
Yeah.
come on, 5 to 10 years. That's such a long time. It is fine. Who says that I studied mass comm? I'm not using my degree, my certificates. I'm not using it right now. It is fine, but just have like a goal. Have that short-term goal. Or what do you want to do? I want to learn. Show them that you want to learn, and then you'll be able to, make the best use of it. Not that you have to bring out an Excel sheet and say in the first year, I want to become an HR analyst, then I go to this and I do that. You have to identify which career path like you want to join. So yeah. 151. We have 9 more minutes to the end of this session. If you have any other questions, please feel free, to send your questions and we will answer you, right? Send your questions.
Yeah,
You want to say something?
yeah, yeah. I wanted to just speak to the soft skills also. I feel like people should really leverage on the soft skills, and they're quite critical as you grow within organizations. You realize that it's very important to have very good soft skills. And Joraman is providing this service for people for free. I mean, what more can you get? So sign up for the soft skills. We take them through various platforms, Thinkific, Telegram.
And even consider.
It's a good opportunity to equip yourself with soft skills. Yeah,
Yeah.
just thought to mention that.
See, the HR professional has spoken. You know, soft skills training, go and do it. So really, if you have any questions, we have 8 minutes on the clock. Please drop your questions. And if you don't, we are going to be wrapping up this session now. So Deji, on a final note, now that we don't have any question, what will you advise one that's fresh graduates and professionals that are looking to switch jobs or looking to switch industries? Okay, before you answer that question, somebody has asked a question. How do fresh graduates get jobs when everyone is requiring years of experience?
Hmm.
Let me tell you how to get jobs.
How do fresh graduates?
Get jobs when everybody is
You want
requiring
to,
years of experience. Not, to be honest, not everybody is requiring years of experience. You have graduate training. They don't require years of experience, to be very honest. And then I'm sorry, no, don't just waste your time. While you're in school, when you're doing IT, when you come back, mistakes I made in 100 level, I came back from summer, I just sat down, was watching TV. But when, getting into the real world, really, the real world, I had to tell my younger brother, I was like, don't sit at home. At 100 level, do what they call this thing, summer work. Just go. Don't be in the house. Go and learn something. Equip yourself right from scratch. So you're in school,
yeah.
100 level. Go out, learn something. That way, you're accumulating experience, right? So in maybe your 4 years, you have at least up to 1 year of experience. Because if you do 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, you have 1 year already. But really, not everybody looks for it. But we're also looking for people that, you're not just going to be nonchalant about it. You're keen on yourself, right? Or do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think you pretty much said what I wanted to say. Just try as much as possible to find things to do prior to graduating. Um, and at the point when you finish school, and I know there must have been one or two things you've done that will speak to experiences. It doesn't have to be something very formal, but it just shows that you were intentional about your growth. You could have worked somewhere, maybe in a factory or anywhere. You can speak to all of these things to say, okay, I was able to do this and do this. It's just as a fresh graduate, nobody expects you to have a certain level of experience. There are people, organizations know you're definitely just finishing school, but they just want to see that in the past you've been able to demonstrate, you've taken initiative to learn some things and to equip yourself with relevant skills and knowledge. So
Mm.
that's what I would like to say.
Okay, so one more thing that I'll say is for people that, your parents, maybe your mom has a shop, if you're looking like, oh, I don't know anybody to do my IT, by all means, you can
I'm
be a
trying to
sales
get
rep
clear.
in your. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm saying that in a situation whereby like their mom, like if my mom has a shop right now and I'm just leaving school, just not to sit in the house, I can be a sales rep, I can be a customer person in my mom's shop and actually learn these skills, right? How to negotiate. Oh no, they say they want to price this one down. You price, there's some little things that you can learn from there. You don't always have to wait for you to work in a proper organization, right? You can start from where is closer to home for you. Do you understand? So you can do that. Now, quickly, we have just 1 minute to answer this question. How do you answer your strengths and weaknesses in an interview?
Your strengths and weaknesses in an interview. So for your strengths, um, I would say that if you're not experienced, if you're a fresh graduate, for example, and they ask you questions relating to your strengths, you need to give examples relating to things that you've done. So things that you've done in terms of situational. So for example, I was the class rep within at my department in school,
Mm-hmm.
and during when I occupied this position, I was responsible for coordinating the activities of my classmates. So you give like situations that speak to your strengths. You don't just say that I have strengths in using Microsoft Office tools or I'm very good with PowerPoint. So you need to like give situations. And we had a group task or we had a group assignment, and through this I was able to other people contributed in this way, but considering my strength in this, I was able to create value on the project and we were able to deliver on that. So you need to like give situations that speak to your strengths. You paint scenarios that speak to where you were able to demonstrate your strengths. Then, in terms of weaknesses, people are people usually do not like to talk about their weaknesses, but I feel like everybody has one or two weaknesses. There are things you're not very good at, and it's not a bad thing. Every employer, people expect you to have weaknesses. So if you say these are my weaknesses, you should also be able to say, okay, these are the things or these are the ways I'm working on myself to improve on my weaknesses. You should talk them through the things you are how you are making a conscious effort to ensure that you're improving on your weaknesses. So that's like the best way to answer those questions.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
someone mentioned what you know how to do best in terms of strength. Yeah.
uh, so we have 2 minutes on the clock now. DG, what's your final advice for, job seekers, like I said, that's fresh graduates and people looking to switch industries and people looking to change jobs?
Yeah. So my advice for fresh graduates will be that um, you should first of all sign up for our free soft skills training. You get a lot of knowledge from this free soft skills training. It will help you a lot. I've had experiences with people who have taken the soft skills training. They've been able to on their own revamp their
Yeah.
CVs, make it look more presentable, their communication got better, and I think it's a very useful experience if you can sign up to that. As a fresh graduate, also register on the Jobberman platform. There are a lot of opportunities for you there. You need to look out for such opportunities. There are internship opportunities for people still in school. There are opportunities for people who have graduated. So make a cautious effort to look out for these opportunities. Try as much as possible to sign up for free trainings. There are free trainings on online platforms, Coursera, whereby you can, there's LinkedIn Learning, whereby you can equip yourself with certain skills, Excel, PowerPoint, just basic skills. and you could also improve yourself on some technical skills. So try as much as possible to gain skills that will bring value for you. I think the most important thing for anybody is to learn. When you learn well, you'll be able to earn. You learn first before you earn.
Hmm. Listen to this. You learn first before you earn. DG 2021. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It has been like, come on, someone is telling us that this has been such an insightful session. Thank you, Jobberman, for bringing this through.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you in 2 weeks. Have a
Thank you
lovely
for having
afternoon.
me.
You're welcome, Deji. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.